Johnny Somali could be jailed for life. He would be certainly the first foreigner charged with it.
Guys, we've got some breaking news about none other than Johnny Somali. And before anyone jumps to the comments calling me fake or desperate, I'm going to ask you to stick around until the very end of this video, because this update is serious. Reports are now coming in that Johnny Somali could be facing life in prison in South Korea.
Johnny Somali could be jailed for life. He would be certainly the first foreigner charged with it.
After almost a year of chaos, disrespect, and escalating behavior, it looks like South Korea has finally had enough. They're now preparing to take strict legal action. But the big question remains, is this like every other headline we've heard about Johnny Somali, or is he truly on the verge of spending the rest of his life behind bars? Let's break it down. For anyone unfamiliar, Johnny Somali's real name is Ramzi Khaled Ismail. He was born on September 26, 2000 in Phoenix, Arizona, to a Somali father and an Ethiopian mother. His parents fled poverty to find a better life in America.
Bill Clinton never let my refugees starve with mommy and daddy. No Johnny Somali. Y'all niggas blame Bill Clinton. Clinton should have never let my family come to America.
And from day one, Johnny had advantages that many kids in Somalia or Ethiopia could never dream of. A stable home, food on the table, and a proper education. If he had been born overseas, his life could have looked very different. Every year, thousands of people from African nations risk their lives to migrate illegally to wealthier countries. Many of them end up imprisoned. Others tragically lose their lives along the way. Johnny didn't have to endure any of that. He was born lucky. With the opportunities in front of him, he could have become the next big streamer like iShowSpeed or Kai Cenat. He could have built something meaningful. But instead of working hard for success, Johnny chose the quick route, chasing clout, fame, and fast money. And as we all know, what comes quickly can also disappear just as fast. This isn't the first time Johnny's been in trouble. He's been arrested multiple times in different countries for nuisance acts. Each time, he was deported instead of being locked up long-term. He had more than one chance to learn his lesson, but every time, he doubled down and pushed further. His first big international spotlight came in Japan, when he mocked the tragedies of Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Hiroshima, Nagasaki! Hiroshima, Nagasaki, you know what we do to you niggas? Hiroshima, Nagasaki, we destroy it, because you don't know how to behave.
The disrespect instantly branded him as a nuisance streamer. He was later arrested and banned from Japan. But the attention he received only fueled his behavior. After that, Johnny shifted focus to South Korea, and this is where he made what might be the biggest mistake of his life. He disrespected the Statue of Peace, a monument that symbolizes the suffering of wartime victims. Johnny kissed it, danced around it, mocked it. And this wasn't just insulting to locals. It sparked outrage worldwide. From that point, his stunts escalated. More harassment in public, more disrespectful acts, and eventually even being assaulted by angry locals on the streets. By then, the damage was done. His reputation was destroyed, and his list of criminal charges started piling up. Now, with multiple trials in motion, Johnny Somali is staring down the possibility of losing everything.
Johnny Somali could be jailed for life. He would be certainly the first foreigner charged with it.
And based on the evidence, this isn't just a case of serving a few years. This could mean the rest of his life behind bars. To understand why, let's talk about the Youth Protection Act in South Korea. Under this law, anyone found guilty of exploiting or disrespecting a child, even a symbolic representation, can face life imprisonment or, at minimum, 5 years. The Statue of Peace represents a 15-year-old girl, honoring the victims who were taken during wartime. For South Koreans, it's more than a statue. It's a cultural and emotional symbol of national pride. By mocking it, Johnny didn't just disrespect a monument. He disrespected the memory of victims, their families, and the dignity of an entire nation. And the law is clear. Exploiting or sexually humiliating a symbol that depicts a child can carry the maximum penalty. Legal experts have weighed in, saying this case could absolutely result in life in prison.
9th, 2025. Now that trial will focus on 3 witnesses. We know one of them is Bong Bong. We know another is Youngman. And the last we are pretty sure is Hank Yu. Yes, that's right, Hank Yu. And he'll be called as a prosecution witness. In America, you sometimes call this a hostile witness. Life in prison may happen under the Youth Protection Act. So let me tell you about this act. It protects children and adolescents. This means any child or youth that define it as under 19 years old, as it defines youth and child exploitation material in such a way that could include the Statue of Peace. And it depicts a young teenage girl. They chose to depict a 15-year-old girl to represent the victims at the time they were taken.
And Johnny himself has admitted that South Korean authorities are targeting him primarily for what he did to that statue. Even he knows that crossing that line may have sealed his fate. "If I never touched that statue, I promise you none of these charges would have happened at all," Johnny confessed. But the reality is he did touch it. He mocked it. He threatened to escalate it even further, from kissing to grinding to dancing in ways that simulated sexual acts. And if prosecutors decide to frame this under the Youth Protection Act, the penalty is no joke. Imprisonment for life, or a minimum of 5 years.
So if Johnny Somali goes out there throwing baby oil on it, right? Doing a Diddy dance, calling it a Diddy party, right? And escalating. Once again, he moved from kissing to grinding to dancing. If he goes out there and simulates a sexual act on this statue, which would be the clear escalation, and based on his latest post, it seems like he even intends to do this, to go out and escalate once again against this statue, that's a representation of a child. Materials shall be punished by imprisonment for life, or for a term of not less than 5 years. Not less than 5 years, guys. Up to life. No joke here, no exaggeration.
Now, there's no official confirmation yet on whether South Korea will apply this charge at his next trial. But many believe they should. Because if Johnny Somali had faced serious consequences earlier, much of the chaos he caused afterward might never have happened. Legal analysts point out that Johnny has no real defense left. He knows exactly what the statue represents. He's been told repeatedly during his trial. He's admitted on record that he understands. That means he can't claim ignorance anymore.
Trying to get out of this case, man. That's the only reason I'm being charged, is because I touched that statue. If I never touched that statue, I promise you, none of these charges would have happened, guys, at all.
If he continues to disrespect it, it's with full knowledge. And that makes the charges even more severe. So, what does this mean for Johnny? If South Korea enforces the law to its fullest extent, this could be the moment where he finally pays for everything he's done. This wouldn't be another deportation or slap on the wrist. This would be a lifetime behind bars. And honestly, many people think it's overdue.
There is no excuse for Johnny Somali. He knows what this represents. He said he knows what this represents. We're in the middle of the trial, so he can't deny knowledge. He's been told multiple times. He's facing crimes right now, like multiple crimes, right? He knows this. So if he goes out and does this, it's with knowledge of what that represents. There's no more denying it. There's no more pretending. He's been on the record. He's been questioned about this. There's multiple comments. He knows it depicts a child. So if he goes out there and does that, that would fit the definition under the statute.
Johnny had countless opportunities to change course. Instead, he doubled down, mocked cultures, disrespected victims, and turned his entire online presence into a circus of negativity. At the end of the day, you can only escape accountability for so long. Eventually, your actions catch up with you. And for Johnny Somali, that day may finally be here. So what do you think? Should Johnny Somali finally face the maximum punishment for his reckless actions? Or do you think he'll somehow manage to slip through the cracks again? Let me know your thoughts down below.